Thanks for joining us for the Member xCite presentation. The Member xCite presentation is informative, interesting to the audience, and showcases the strengths of the presenter as an entrepreneur and their area of expertise. It's not a sales pitch, it's a 10-minute educational and insightful exploration into what they do. And of course, it's exciting.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our xCite presenter today, Michael Shaw from Aureus Financial, to present to us on Think Lifestyle Goals, Not Money. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Michael Shaw.
It's all about lifestyle goals. Lifestyle. It's not about money, because money is stage 3 in the process. You need to actually get a good understanding of what lifestyle goal you want to achieve, and then it's a lot easier to work out the money later. So a lot of people spend way too much time thinking about a dollar figure, or thinking you've got to spend endless amounts of money in order to live the lifestyle you want to live, or to reach financial freedom. But you really should spend more time on the actual lifestyle. So think about things like, what house do you want to live in? What area do you want to live in? What activities do you want to do when you're not working? What car do you want to drive? And how often do you want to get a new car? How often do you want to travel? Do you want to just travel within Australia? Do you want to travel overseas? Do you want to do crazy trips like to Antarctica and North Lights? What is it that you actually want to do? How often do you want to spend time with your family? How often do you want to spend time away from your family? What goals do you have for the next 12 months, 5 years, by the time you reach retirement, into retirement? Once you work out that specific goal, like the lifestyle you want to live and how often you want to do it, it's very, very easy to actually reverse engineer it and work out the dollar figure that you need to earn per year in order to live that lifestyle. And then once you know the annual figure, it's very easy to work out how much you need to earn in order to live that lifestyle for the rest of your life. So, a couple of things I'm going to go through. Firstly, a rough calculation on how you can work out how you can live your lifestyle goal for the rest of your life. And it's really easy and quick and easy task that you can teach your kids or teach someone who's not very financially savvy. But also rent vesting. So rent vesting is the idea where you buy where you can afford and live where you want to live without stretching yourself beyond your means. So firstly, look, rough calculation on how much you need to live the lifestyle you want for the rest of your life. Firstly, I'm not an official financial advisor, so if you do want to get the exact figure and get an exact plan, actually expect to a financial advisor. This is just a very, very rough calculation that anyone can easily do. So if everyone can get out a pen and paper, and just start writing down things that you actually want to do in your lifestyle. So think maybe on a monthly basis, just write down some things. You want to go to the beach, you want to train X amount of times, you want to spend X amount of days with your family. What is it that you actually want to do? How often do you want to travel? Where do you want to travel? Think about those kind of things. Because for me, I want to be able to train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and train at the gym at least 5 days a week. Training is a big part of my life, so I'm going to need 2 gym memberships, which will cost me about $2.5 grand a year. I want to go to the beach at least once a week. You can hope that for the rest of my life that's going to be free. I want to play with my dogs and spend time with my family. Maybe I'll allow a couple $100 a week for that. I want to catch up with friends once a fortnight, so I might allow $150 a fortnight for that. I want to travel at least every 6 months, one trip within Australia and one trip overseas. So I may allow like $15,000 a year just for that. I want to buy a new basic car every 5 years. That might cost about $7 grand a year. I want to go fishing and camping once a month. That's not going to cost much. It might be only $350 a month. And I want to play golf once a fortnight. So I need a membership and fees in it's probably going to cost a couple of grand a year. Now, once you've got that, you can add on maybe 15 grand a year just on living expenses, insurance, groceries, all that kind of stuff. And then you've got your annual figure. So that's something everyone can do. Just write down exactly what you want to do and work out that annual figure. Now, once you've got that annual figure, it's very easy to work out the way how much you need in order to live that lifestyle for the rest of your life. And it's purely by timesing it by 20. Now, the reason why you times by 20 is because once you've reached that figure, if you times by 20 would mean that figure is 5%. So if you take out 5% of your net wealth, you can live on that for that year, and then on conservative returns of an investment for superannuation, investments, all that kind of stuff, you should be getting about 6 to 12% per annum. So if you take out 5% and you get 6% return, you're back to where you were. So it's a very easy and quick calculation that you can work out to teach your kids, kids that are lost when they finish at school and they just want to work out, they think that they need to earn millions and millions of dollars. Maybe they just want to live a pretty modest lifestyle. It's not actually going to cost that much. Because once I actually spoke to a financial advisor and worked this out, I realized I only need to get to 946 grand in order to retire. And I was thought, that's definitely achievable. So I thought I was going to need millions and millions of dollars, and when I worked it out, it's not actually that scary. So it's something you can teach anyone. So the next concept is in relation to property itself. It's called rent vesting. So as I said before, rent vesting is the concept where you live where you want to live, but you buy where you can afford. Now, I'm going to use an example in Brisbane. So hands up who has the dream of living on the beach, with the ocean breeze smashing into the eye, sitting there having a fun coffee. Who's got that dream? Show of hands. You don't want to live that dream? No? Fair enough. But for a lot of people, that is a dream, but it is unachievable for some people when they think about buying that property. So for me, I have that dream, but I know I can't afford the properties that allow me to live that lifestyle while I still need to work. So I'm going to think about a property in Scarborough and also North Lakes. The distance between those two suburbs is only about 15 minutes by car. But if you want a waterfront property in Scarborough, it's probably going to cost you circa $2 million. If you want a nice suburbia house in North Lakes, it might cost you about $600,000, $700,000. And that might be your borrowing capacity, $600,000, $700,000. But let's think about the lifestyle goal. If that's your lifestyle that you want to live, how can you make that work through property? So I'm going to think of an example for a first-home buyer. You just inherited $300,000 and you want to buy a property with it. Now, in order to buy that property in Scarborough, it's going to cost you, say, $200,000 just in fees. You're going to pay $100,000 in stamp duty, $100,000 in lender's mortgage insurance. You're going to be left with a $1.9 million mortgage, which is going to cost you about $10,000 a month. You're going to need $300,000 just to service it. And if times get tough, you're only going to be able to rent that out at about $5,000. So your best case scenario is a $5,000 bill. Now, the other option is potentially buying a property in North Lakes. Use maybe $150,000 of that $300,000 inheritance. Your lowest valuation is going to be below 8%, so you're not going to pay any lender's mortgage insurance. And at the moment, for first-home buyers, that stamp duty is only going to cost you about $10,000. So now your situation is $10,000 in fees versus $200,000 in fees, a lot more manageable. Now, that specific loan, you're only going to need about $100,000 to service it, a lot more doable. It's going to cost you $2,200 a month, not too bad. And also, if times get tough, you can rent it out for $2,800, meaning that from day one, it's actually bringing you and producing income. So the other $150,000, you could invest in shares, you could maybe just buy another property in North Lakes. Now, I know some people are probably thinking, great, but I don't want to live in North Lakes, I want to live in Scarborough, and I don't want to buy an investment property because we're not living in it's an investment property. I don't want to buy an investment property because then you have capital gains tax when you try and sell it. And that's true. As a general rule, once you cease living in a dwelling, it does start to create capital gains tax. However, in some cases, you can choose to continue treating that dwelling as your main residence for capital gains tax purposes, provided, while you're no longer living in it, provided it's used to produce income. So this is what brings it as your main residence for up to 6 years if it is used to produce income. So what that basically means is you could potentially buy the property in North Lakes, live there for a little while so it becomes your main residence, and then you could move out, go and rent some property in Scarborough, so on the water that you really want to live in. And provided it's facilitated correctly, you do move back into the North Lakes property within 6 years, you're not going to get charged capital gains tax when you go to sell in the future. So, as I said, from a lifestyle perspective, you're still living in the waterfront property. It's only costing you less than $5,000 a month because you're earning income from the North Lakes property, and you're still building a property portfolio that's not stretching your funds. So, as I said, lifestyle goals, think about how you can make that lifestyle goal a reality. And just stop thinking about